With this move? I think it's a typical Colt move. I mean, here's a team that needed a franchise quarterback. There were two out there. They have a chance at two. They don't take them. They end up coming back into the picture to get Trent Dilfer. They take an outside linebacker, not even a true outside linebacker. Somebody has to learn coverage in Trev Alberts. They have Coriat. They have Harad. They do have a hole that developed with the release of Dwayne Bickett. But to pass up a Trent Dilfer when all you have is Jim Harbaugh, give me a break. That's why the Colts are picking second every year in the draft, not battling for the Super Bowl like other clubs in the National Football League.
Who in the hell is Mel Kiper? My neighbor has more credentials than Mel Kiper, and my neighbor's supposed to...
What do you want to cover first, our players?
The margin for error is so small. I mean, one half a step too late or too early, and you don't quite make it. 1/2 second too slow, too fast, you don't quite catch it. The inches we need are everywhere around us. They're in every break of the game, every minute, every second. Winners win and losers lose. I can't explain it any better than that. I don't know how it happens, but winners win. And if you create a culture of losing, if you keep being a victim, if you keep letting losing happen to you, if you keep letting people do you and treat you any kind of way, it's going to become a culture.
Well, good evening, everybody. Good evening, everybody. Game Time Brian, otherwise known as the Mailman, breaking down a website that I love to follow and watch. Don't always agree. Just briefly looking at this mock draft. Don't agree with a lot of what this particular writer had done. Still not taking nothing away. He may be right. This was done April 4th, 2025. It's Bruce Feldman from The Athletic. You know, my guy Dane Brugler releases The Beast on the 9th. I want to break this down, okay? I want to break down their mock draft, and we'll go through it. I'll give you my opinion on what they're doing, or what Bruce is doing. This is a consensus type situation, not necessarily just Bruce. It's a consensus mock draft. Let's go, baby. Mock draft per The Athletic, Bruce Feldman, and consensus. Who do they have going number one? First, let's read what he's got here. This is my 5th annual NFL mock draft based on the intel I've gathered from speaking to dozens of college coaches and NFL sources during the past 2 months. My goal with this project is to provide unique insight directly from the eyes of the rival coaches who have not only studied and scouted these prospects, but game planned for and then faced each of them. In many cases, more than once. These sources granted anonymity to speak freely about the prospects, know exactly what they're dealing with and what they've tried to do against these players in real game situations. Again, very interesting to see what's going to happen. With the number one pick, they got, surprise, surprise, Cam Ward. Cam Ward. Love it, love it. Again, there's no doubt he's going one. We're not going to spend too much time on this one. Cam Ward going number one. Ward would have carried the Canes in the college football playoff if their defense wasn't so leaky. He's 6'2", 219, not overly big, but he is a gunslinger, probably the best pocket guy in this draft. Raw, has a lot to learn, so it should be interesting. Number two. This next pick is going to be interesting because I'm not real sure. The Browns pick, they're doing a good job because they talked to Deion Sanders. They talked to Deion, brought Deion Shador's father in to talk to about the player. Deion gave his blessing. Why are they talking to him unless they're taking him? They need a quarterback. I think they make take Shador, but who do they have him taking? Abdul Carter, edge, Penn State. If Cam is available, Cleveland will pounce. Instead, the Browns gobble up the latest in the long line of defensive freaks from the Nittany Lions. Again, Carter scares me. I'm not going to lie to you. As a Cowboy fan, I know a lot of Cowboy fans want Carter. He is an athletic beast. He scares me a little bit, just a little bit. Browns take Carter per the athletic Bruce Feldman. Number 3, the Giants. I think we know where this is going, or do we? Is it going to be Shedeur Sanders, or is it going to be Travis Hunter? Shedeur Sanders. There you go. Jesse Montanez, a channel member. Giants take Shedeur. I told everybody that it's come full circle here. I believe Shedeur will go top 3. I'm still trying to figure it out in my head. We got 3 weeks to do it. Less than 3 weeks to do it. I will have 2 more mock drafts. I'll do my 4.0 and then my final. So stay tuned for that. But Shedeur Sanders goes to the Giants, number 3. New England salivating. New England is salivating. Number 4, Travis Hunter goes to the New England Patriots. This was the spot where I had said was a possibility of a trade. They're looking to trade. The Cowboys and them have a relationship. If you wanted Travis Hunter, you would have to come up to 4. You would have to give up 12, 44, and next year's 3. I say no, but that's the deal that was rumored to be discussed. I don't believe Dallas is going to do that. Travis Hunter goes number 4 to the Patriots. Number 5, this is where they've had Mason Graham to the Jaguars. Let's see where they have it. Mason Graham again. It's almost like the most consensus thing going right now. So what happens at number 6? Number 6, I believe, is the Raiders. They just released Jack Jones. The Raiders need corner. I got laughed at when I said they were taking corner in my last mock draft. And I don't believe they're going Ashton Jeanty right now. I thought they were, but now they just released Jack Jones. They need a corner in the worst way. They need multiple corners. I don't think it's going to be Ashton Jeanty. So my question is, do you try, as a Cowboy fan, do we try and talk to the Raiders to move up? It's going to cost you a 4th-round pick. It's going to cost you more than that, and a pick next year. I'm not doing it. But Raiders, who do they take? Jalon Walker. Wow. The Las Vegas Raiders go Jalon Walker. Very interesting. Jalon Walker goes edge out of Georgia. High ceiling player. I think he's going to be a corner. I think it's Will Johnson here. But not bad. Jalon Walker, Georgia, number 7. Again, if Dallas is looking at Jeanty, which I don't believe they are at this point, they got to try and get ahead of Chicago. That's the next landmine. Who's next? Jets, Armand Membu. I've mocked him there. I've also had other guys, but the first offensive lineman off the board to the Jets, no Ashton Jeanty. I think number 8 is Carolina. Carolina goes Mykel Williams. Dallas brought Mykel Williams in. They are enamored with this player. 6'5", 260. Raw. Defensive coaches love this guy. Dallas loves him. We're hearing rumors of Dallas and Shamar Stewart. I know Ultra has alluded to the fact that Dallas coaches are enamored with Shamar Stewart. I'm thinking maybe they've turned their focus to Shamar Ultra, maybe because they realize Mykel is going to be off the board. I've had Mykel off the board prior to Dallas. Again, not totally surprising. It's funny when Dallas was taking him, some of the so-called draft experts had this player in the second and third round. I think Brian Broaddus had him like way down. So it was very interesting that all of a sudden you see the actual internet scouts compared to the actual people who do this for a living. Michael Williams is, if this is true, he's hearing. This is what happens. Like sports writers are the best people to listen to because they're the closest to the organization. And sometimes, in large part, they speak for the organization. The organization will use these writers to their advantage. So now, if you're the Cowboys, if Gentry slips past 6, you got to get you got to get to 9. You got to get to number 9. Okay. New Orleans Saints, Will Campbell, offensive tackle, makes a lot of sense. I've had that in one of my mocks. You can go to 9, 12 to 9. That's not a big jump. Matter of fact, let me see. 12 to 9. Let me see here. 12 to 9. Are you able to see that? I don't think you can see it. I was going to show you the trade chart. The trade chart, okay, 1,200 is worth 12. The 12th pick is a value of 1,200. 9 is 1,350. So you need 150 points to trade up with the Saints. You have friends with Kellen Moore. If you want a player such as an Ashton Gentry, you would need 150 points. Obviously, you would probably have to give up. It's an overvalue to give up your third round pick. That's 210. So you would have to give up 149, which is 31. Yeah, see, that's not going to cut it. You're going to have to give up your third round pick, and they're going to owe you probably a fourth round pick. That's probably what it's going to be. You give them your third round pick, maybe one of your 5s, and they give you their 4th. That's probably how the trade's going to go down. I'll minimize that. So would you do that? Would you go from 12 to 9, give up number 3, a 5, and you'll get a 4th in return? Let me know. You would go to number 9, get Ashton Gentry. He's like the top 3 player in this draft. You'd give up not your 44. You'd give up 76. You'd give up a 5th. You have 2 of them. You give up your comp, and then you get a 4, which is literally just a few picks later. I think that's what you would have to do. I think that's what would work. Or maybe you can get away with giving up a pick next year. Maybe they think with your schedule you're not going to be very good, and you give up a 3rd next year because it's going to take something like that. A 3rd next year is not as worth as much as a 3rd this year. It just is not. Moving on to number 10. We know what's coming, people. We know what's coming. Ashton Gentry. Everybody knows he's not getting past 10. If he does, then man, that would be exciting. But I don't believe that he will. This is the best. This is one of the best picks of the draft as far as I'm concerned. I like Mason Graham. I think this is a no-brainer. I really do. Ashton Gentry goes to number 10. Number 11. We know it's the Bang Bang 49er gang. Who are they going to have? Jahdae Barron. So we don't have a chance at Jahdae Barron. And Jahdae Barron goes ahead of Will Johnson. What a shock. What a shock. Not really. He's a better player than Will Johnson, just not as big. I think he fits perfect with the 49ers. Number 12, I'm holding my breath. Who do they have? Who do they have us taking? Oh, Marion Hampton. Well, Jay Tuck. You got your guy, brother. Everybody is talking about Marion Hampton at 12. It's getting hot. I've seen it mocked a lot lately. Tet McMillan's on the board. We're not going to give Dak his number 2 wide receiver. Maybe we get it in the second round. They go Marion Hampton. What would you do, Cowboy fans, if they go Hampton? I mean, I love the player. 6', 221. He's bigger than Genty, has a knack of big plays, runs a 4.4. I don't know if he's the complete package. To me, he's more of a straight line runner. He doesn't give you much lateral, which is good. Assuming there's holes to be run through. You know, I mean, he's very strong. It's hard to arm tackle him. That I agree with. He looks like a linebacker. He can break it away and take it the distance. Very, very interesting. Let me know what you think of Dallas and Omarion Hampton at 12 at the University of North Carolina. Jesse Holly will love it. I know that. All right, moving. We'll touch back after the this draft, and we will discuss a few highlights. Miami Dolphins, Will Johnson. Will Johnson. We're waiting to see if he's going to run in his pro day in another week. Or actually next week, I believe. Miami Dolphins, Will Johnson, 6'2", 194, big guy. Hasn't really played like his traits. The film doesn't. It's a lot of projecting when you go with a Will Johnson. They're projecting. I think Will Johnson's in play with the Raiders. I think this mock draft was before the Raiders released their latest corner. So I think Will Johnson, which may free up Ashton Genty. Bears may go with that offensive tackle. But anyway, we shall see. Moving along. Indianapolis Colts, Tyler Warren. That was like my original mock way back. Makes way too much sense. Dallas Clark 2.0. Number 15. Atlanta Falcons, Jihad Campbell. Wow, that's high for me because of his shoulder injuries and his shoulder surgeries as a linebacker. Not that he can't overcome it, but I would have a Mike Green, something like that, over Jihad. He is probably the best linebacker, but it's a little interesting because he does have those shoulder issues. Falcons take Jihad. 16, Arizona Cardinals, Derek Harmon, my favorite defensive tackle, not named Mason Graham. Derek Harmon, he's a all-around good player. He gets penetration, stops the run, 6'4", 313. He's a big boy. All right, so we got Mike Green going to the Cincinnati Bengals. Cincinnati Bengals, Mike Green, love the player. He's kind of a beast. He's coming off the edge. I'm kind of surprised Atlanta didn't want him. This is a player that, if I'm the Cowboys, I would want Dallas to take. But they didn't take him. So Mike Green to the Bengals. Like the player, I think that opens up a trade. Hendrickson, rumored to be going to the Eagles. It wouldn't be a first-round pick, Birds, so you don't have to worry about that. Probably a third. Eagles are going to do a lot of trading. I think they're going to trade down, most likely, probably, and just stack up those top 100 picks. That's the big one. This draft is rounds 2, 3, 4, where all the studs are. Moving along, pick number 18, Seattle Seahawks, Tet McMillan. This is a guy that I would be really considering at 12. Again, Interesting. Let me ask my Eagle fans, my Cowboy fans, my Commando fans, my Giants fans, or anybody really, but let me ask my Cowboy fans, would you be upset if we took Omarion Hampton over Tet McMillan? Omarion Hampton and Tet McMillan are very close to me. Tet, I think, helps us, obviously, in the red zone. Tet's 6'4", 219. He's a dude. He plays physical. That's why I like him. He's not always open. He's not always streaking wide open. But he just comes down with the ball. I think those guys are hard to find. I kind of would like Tet McMillan. I love Omarion Hampton as well, but if I'm picking between the two, I'm going Tet. And you see where nobody's going to take a wide receiver until 18. My thing is this. Why not try and trade, if you're Dallas, with Seattle? I keep saying it. And take 18 and 51, I think they pick. 18, 51, and 52, one of the two. And get Tet McMillan. Or if they jump up to take Tet, if you're going to take a Omarion Hampton at 12, then do your due diligence, call Seattle and say, do you want your guy? You give us, your third round pick. That's what you'd have to give us. And, or not your third, you'd have to give us your second round pick. They have 2 twos, I believe. So give us 51 or 52, I think it would. That's what I would do. But in this scenario, Seattle gets Tet McMillan, perfect fit. You lose DK. Everybody's saying, oh, well, you got Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp is an older guy. Tet McMillan would have time to grow in that offense. Moving along. Tampa Bay, Donovan Ezeriku. I love this player out of Boston College. Kind of a shorter guy, strong, explosive, all-around player. I do like this player a lot. I had him mocked to the Eagles at one point, but he's rising up the charts. I like this player. Number 20, Matthew Golden. Again, Denver's sitting in that sweet spot, which is where I would like to be. Drop down a few picks because you're getting good players. To me, the difference between Golden and McMillan, I think Golden's more of a home run threat. I think McMillan's more of a possession, jump ball, physical freak. Golden just runs a great routes and shines. So that's a great pick for Denver. There's been Omarion Hampton. They want a running back. They want Omarion Hampton. He's gone. So my question to you, Cowboy fans, is another spot. You got 18 and then you got 20. Would you be willing to drop down to 20? Again, I know Ultra likes to say a lot, well, there's only 12 top-rated talent guys. As you see Tet McMillan's last until 18. Matthew Golden's last until 20. I hear what you're saying. Shamar Stewart's still on the board in this scenario. You know what I'm saying? So think about it. Get me another top 100 pick. That's exciting to me. But under this scenario, Denver gets Matthew Golden. Maybe this puts the wide receiver, Cortland Sutton, back on the block. I think he's moved. If this happens, I think he's moved right after this pick. He's gone. Denver don't mess around. Watch out for the Denver Broncos. Pittsburgh Steelers at 21 take Jackson Dart. I had Dart originally, then I went with Will Howard. They're going Dart. Telling you there could be a shocker here with Will Howard going to the Steelers. But if they like Jackson Dart, that's who they're going to go with. I'm still leaning Will Howard here because Will Howard's size, kind of a Ben Roethlisberger-esque type player. They've won a Super Bowl with that guy. This guy's a little smaller. Jackson Dart. I think if Mike Tomlin is sitting down talking to both of these cats, I'm saying he's liking Will Howard more. And the thing is, are you going to trade back and hope to still get Will Howard? I don't believe so. I think that's why they take him here. But if that doesn't happen, then that means they love Jackson Dart more, and that's why you see the pick. So it's going to be one of them two. Book it, lock it in. And I've been laughed at for saying Will Howard, but he killed it at his pro day. To me, if you like a player, it doesn't matter where you take him. Take him. Get him. Lock him in. I have respect for people who do that. Oh, that's a round too early. Is it? Okay, the Chargers. A Colston Loveland out of Michigan comes back home to Daddy and Jim Harbaugh. I love it. Love the pick. 2 tight ends gone in the top 22 picks. Not too shabby. Green Bay Packers, Gray Zabel, offensive line. This is a Packer pick. Definitely a Packer pick. Zabel is 6'6", 312. He's an athletic freak out of North Dakota State. Some may question who he's playing. I love Gray Zabel. I think it's a solid pick. It's a pick where you take it like a Zach Martin when we took him. Go, oh, really? It's not very sexy until he pays dividends for the next 10 years, 11 years. Number 24, Minnesota Vikings, Nick Imanwari, safety, South Carolina. I still have Siobhan Ravel going here. That's just me. Nick Imanwari, South Carolina. Siobhan Ravel is my pick. This dude is an athletic freak, though, Imanwari. Some people love him. Some people have him going down as low as the 3rd round because of his ball skills, his instincts. He doesn't have the instincts yet to start in the National Football League, some would say. We'll see. I think these coaches are arrogant, egotistical, and feel that they can take any raw talent, the God-given ability, and bring everything else out of it. So we'll see. So I wouldn't be surprised. I still like Siobhan Ravel here if it were me. Houston Texans. Get rid of Laramie Tunsil and slide in Kelvin Banks Jr., who's probably going to be better as a rookie. Laramie, a gas mask Tunsil, who was traded to the Commandos, most penalized player in the NFL on the offensive line last year. Hell of a replacement. Kelvin Banks Jr. goes to Texas. Number 26, Cleveland Browns via Josh. Ooh, they trade back up. The Browns trade up and get Josh Simmons, for my money, the best left tackle in the class, the best offensive lineman in the class, if it wasn't for him coming back from a knee injury. In this scenario, the Browns trade up with the Rams, sending their number 33 and 94 picks. So they drop down 7 and get 94. I like that. The only problem is you lose that 5th-year option. So the Rams lose the 5th year, which is a bargaining chip. For a Dallas Cowboy fan, the 5th-year option scares the heck out of me because it ends up costing us money. But the Cleveland Browns go up and get an offensive tackle. I like it. They don't go. So they trade up and they don't go with a quarterback. Interesting. Because they took Abdul Carter. Now they took Josh Simmons. Very interesting. Baltimore Ravens, Malachi Starks, safety, Georgia. I'm not a huge fan of the player. I mean, the stock kept going down and down and down. Decent player. Decent. I mean, he's probably the best safety in the draft. I like some safeties later, but I can't overlook Malachi. Baltimore Ravens just normally stick and pick great players, so he'll probably be great. And he's more of an in-the-box guy for me, and that's fine. Number 28, Nick Skirtan, edge, Texas A&M. So the first edge rusher off the board is this boy. 6'3", 257, is more polished and a productive player in 2023 while at Purdue. So that's an interesting pick for the Detroit Lions. Nick Skirtan, edge, Texas A&M. But they need an edge. So you got Hutchinson is coming back from the nasty dislocation against the Cowboys. He should make a full recovery, but this is kind of hedging their bets there. Number 29, James Pierce Jr. has been plummeting with Dante Fowler returning back to Dallas. They need an edge rusher. James Pierce Jr., because of off-the-field issues, goes at 29. And the Eagle fans want him at 32. When this happens, that could send them spiraling a little bit. Shamar Stewart still on the board. Another freak. Pierce is 6'5", 245, is smaller but more productive. Again, it's all about how you are as a football player. You can have all the traits in the world. If you haven't shown it on film, then it's a guess whether you're going to be able to up your game in the NFL level. Number 30, Kenneth Grant. Yes, Michigan defensive tackle, another stud I love. Buffalo just sticks and gets a guy that I would be happy with at 12 under some circumstances. So this is what I was telling you, people. These players that you're going to start seeing now are kind of all around the same. Just what flavor ice cream do you like? They're all good. It's just what flavor do you like? 31. Kansas City, Shamar Stewart. Okay, there he goes. This dude is a freak. 6'5", 267. He lit up the combine. This guy was a freak of nature. Very, very a great athlete. Just he hasn't been all that at Texas A&M. I thought he was really good on film, but wasn't great against us, said an SEC offensive line coach who faced A&M late in the season. I think he's similar to Michael Williams. He's a little bigger, but not quite the pass rusher. He's this great-looking kid, and then you hear how he tests. I didn't think he had that kind of twitch. I didn't see a first-round guy. That's scary to me. I know Ultra's been saying they're hot on this guy, Dallas. We'll see. I'm thinking, Ultra, if I had to guess, that they're looking at maybe moving up in the second round to possibly get him, or maybe him falling to us in the second. I don't see that. But let's not forget, Dallas talks to a lot of players like they loved Mingo coming out of school a year ago. They keep their books. They trust their own scouting report. They can circle back on a player 2 years down the road, 3 years down the road. If these players don't work out with who they're drafted by, they could come to Dallas and they already have a sit-down meeting with them. They met with them. They went out to dinner. They've seen them play. They can decide whether they like them, and they'll have their scouting report. So it's not necessarily for now. It could be for a year, 2, 3, 4 down the line. Okay, number 32. Ooh, we got a trade. The Raiders trade up with the Eagles. Eagles trade number 32 to the Raiders for number 37. So they drop down 5 picks, lose that 5th-year option, and pick up a 4th rounder. So you drop 5 picks and you pick up a round 4. The only thing that's bad here is you lose a 5th round option. That's it. Other than that, you gain value. And Emeka Egbuka goes to the Raiders. Yes, goes to the Raiders. Wow. Egbuka, arguably one of the best polished receivers in the first round, goes at the end. Good pick by the Raiders. 33. This is the trade. The Rams traded down to 33 and take Wanye Thomas's brother out of Florida State. The big boy didn't have a great pro day. He's 6'1" and a half and 197 pounds. But he didn't have a great pro day. He's kind of all over the place, which is what you're going to get from here on out. All these players are spotty. That's what the Rams got. And let's see. The Eagles ended up taking Jordan Burch, defensive lineman out of Oregon. So, okay, they got, let's do it. I like Jordan Burch a lot. And there you go. There you have it. Well, let's see real fast. Let's go to their big board. Big board. Let's see here. They have Abdul Carter's number 1 overall talent. This is what I was telling everybody. Do you see a quarterback here? Do you see a quarterback anywhere near the top? So Abdul Carter, Travis Hunter, Ashton Genty, they do have them 3. Mason Graham 4, Tyler Warren, Membao, Will Johnson. They got Will Johnson high. So I'll be curious to see what Dane Brugler has him in the beast. Will Johnson, number 7, Jalen Walker, Ted McMillan 9, Colston Loveland, Will Campbell, Cam Ward is. That's it. They got Cam Ward at 12. Jahdae Barron, Mike Green, Mike Kell, Shamar Stewart, Jihad. Where do they have who? Because we took Hampton. We took a Marion Hampton, and they have him all the way down at 29. So anyway, we're not going to go through all of it, but there you have it. There is the Athletics consensus mock draft, brought to you by Bruce Feldman and Company. The Athletic is definitely worth the $2.99 a month. Go check them out. Tell me what you think of their mock. Stay tuned for my mock in the next couple of days. It won't happen tonight, but I will give you my mock draft 4.0 over the next few days. I will let you guys know. But other than that, only one last thing.
How about them Cowboys?
How about them Cowboys? I'll talk to everybody late. Peace.